Okay, so you wanted Fables, right?
Hmm.
And we found a really intriguing one, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's called The Snake That Shed No Skin.
Okay.
And it's from this collection called Owl's Fables,
Yeah.
Tales You Wish Weren't True by Nocturne Owl.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little ominous,
Yeah,
just a tad.
little bit. Yeah.
So the story basically goes like this. There's this snake in a marsh, and it stands out from all the other snakes
Right.
because it never sheds its skin. And
Interesting.
this snake, it kind of boasts about it, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like, I'm strong and unchanging, unlike all these other snakes
Hmm.
who, have to go through this whole vulnerable molting process.
Huh. Yeah, when you first read it, that gleaming, unchanging skin, it does make the snake seem powerful,
Right, right.
enviable even.
Yeah, like who wouldn't want that, right?
Hmm.
To just stay, strong and sleek forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's like finding the fountain of youth, but for your whole life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's where I think the setting of this marsh starts to become important.
Oh, okay, how so?
Well, it's not like a flowing river or anything like that. It's described as this stagnant, dark pool of water.
Mm.
And I think that's really key here. Have you ever felt stuck?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Right? Like in a job or a relationship or even just like a way of thinking that isn't really serving you anymore.
Ugh, yeah, I've been there.
It's like that's the stagnation that the marsh represents.
Gotcha. So it's like setting the stage for this idea of like being trapped or something.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got this snake who never changes and this like murky marsh as the backdrop.
Right.
What happens next?
Well, that's when the younger snakes enter the picture.
Okay.
They see this old snake,
Mhm.
right, with its like perfect scales, and they're drawn to that power.
I bet.
They want that unyielding strength for themselves.
Yeah, it's like they're looking for a shortcut, right?
Totally. It's like they want to skip the whole messy work of growing and changing.
And who hasn't been tempted by a shortcut like that?
Seriously. We see it all the time, right?
Oh, yeah.
The get rich quick scheme or the fad diet or, even just the promise of like overnight success.
Oh, yes.
But the fable, I think it's warning us about those quick fixes.
Okay.
Because remember, it even says that even the moonlight seems to shy away from this pool.
Oh, wow, yeah.
There's this sense of foreboding, like something's not quite right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
So it sounds like things are about to take a turn for the worse.
they do. And it happens gradually at first.
Okay, so tell me about that.
Well, the young snakes, they start following the old snake's advice, right? And at first they think they're succeeding. They feel strong, unchanging.
Right.
But then the transformation begins.
Oh, no. What happens?
Their scales, they start to harden and lose their flexibility.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they become rigid and brittle.
It's like they're turning to stone or something.
It is. It's like they've become trapped in time.
That's a powerful image.
And that's where the fable really gets you, I think. It's saying that true strength isn't about refusing to change. It's about being able to adapt to shed what's no longer working for you.
To be open to growth.
Exactly. Even if it means being vulnerable for a little while.
So what happens to the young snakes?
Well, the fable ends with this really haunting image. The old snake, it's slithering among the petrified remains of all the younger snakes.
Wow.
It's this chilling reminder of what happens when you try to avoid change.
It's like they traded real strength for this illusion of strength.
Exactly, and they paid the price for it.
It really makes you think about the old snake's motives, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Was it intentionally leading the young snakes astray?
Right.
Or was it like just as trapped as they were in this idea of unchanging strength?
That's a question the fable leaves us with.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
Was it malice or delusion or maybe a little bit of both?
Yeah, and I think that's something that happens in real life, too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes it's hard to tell who's the victim and who's the one doing the harming.
Yeah, for sure. But regardless of the old snake's intentions, the message is pretty clear. That which does not change does not grow. That which does not grow is already dead.
Ooh, that's good.
Right.
So as we wrap up here, I'm curious to hear what our listeners think.
Yeah.
Like when you think about your own life right now,
Hmm.
are there any areas where you might be resisting change?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, what are some of those stagnant pools that
Yeah.
you might need to move away from?
Right.
And what would it take for you to embrace that molting process,
Mm-hmm.
to shed what's no longer serving you and emerge stronger and more adaptable?
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, food for thought, right?
Definitely.
Thanks for diving in with us today.
Absolutely my pleasure.